little brownie. Thanks for commenting. I'll see you later, eh? Oh, thanks for the follow as well, man. Enjoy your coffee. Oh, it's lagging a bit, is it, at the moment? Alright, I'm gonna quit Knights of the Old Republic. Here we go. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Oh, there we go. That was much better. Much better. Oh, man. Oh, I took off my beanie. Or was it off the whole time? I can't even remember. Need a haircut. Okay. What's next on today's item? Alright, I'm going to change this real quick to... I'm going to change this to just chatting. Oh. What did I want to talk about? What was it? Right, just chatting. Okay. Yeah, so Knights of the Old Republic, that was fun. And then for the next probably hour or so, I'll just talk about movies. Then I'll upload the clips to my YouTube channel. I really wanted to talk about the Rise of Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker, because I rewatched it not that long ago, and my opinion is still the same. And my opinion is that I just didn't like it when it came out, and I still don't. It's a weird movie. It's like four movies crammed into one, and I know I'm not the first to say that, but it's just so like I don't even know who to blame for it, whether it's J.J. Abrams or his co-writer or Disney, but like it's such a mess. I think that what happened with The Last Jedi was that it was really subversive, and I quite liked that, even though it had problems. But it was, but it was, but it was original, and it did some interesting stuff, and it didn't pander to the audience like I felt like Rise of Skywalker did. The thing with Star Wars Rise of Skywalker was that it's it's hard to explain. It felt like it felt in the trailer. I remember, and in the movie, I remember Kylo Ren. He's like stitching up his helmet, and I remember I think it was Red Letter Media said, if that isn't like a symbolic, you know, if that isn't symbolic for what the movie is, which is just trying to stitch everything back together, then I don't know what is, because it's like it's such a pandering film, you know. It's I'm gonna like get a graphic up here of like, hang on a sec, copyrighted or something. Uh, Hang on a second. Yeah, it's such a pandering movie, and it was Rise of Skywalker. I'm just trying to refresh my memory a little bit about it. CinemaSins. I do not like CinemaSins that much, to be honest. What do we have? Yeah, it's such a mess of a movie. Ben Shapiro. Oh, official trailer. I think I'll just go CinemaSins and just go through it real quick. Oh, the ads. So yeah, it's such a pandering movie. Say what you want about the first, not the first one, about Last Jedi, but that wasn't pandering. You know, I think it was Ryan Johnson who said something like, "I prefer to challenge the audience than to pander to them," or something like that. Something along those lines, anyway. But here's the CinemaSins video, anyway. Oh, we better minimize this. Oh, I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm just going to keep it. And I'm going to pause it every so often so I don't get... I don't know. Yeah, so from the opening sequence, you have the dead speak. The galaxy has heard a mysterious broadcast, a threat to revenge in the sinister voice of the late Emperor Palpatine. So in the first paragraph, they tell you exactly what's happening, yet they still feel the need to have this whole, somehow Palpatine has returned. That whole meme about Palpatine returning. Hang on a sec. Where's another window for... hang on a sec, sorry. Hang on a sec. Somehow Palpatine has returned. I'm gonna find this really funny meme video called "Somehow Palpatine has returned," or it's called. I think it's just called "Rise of Skywalker." Somehow Palpatine returned meme. Here we go. Is it this one? Yeah, this is it. Wait.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Wait, I don't know if that was it. Is that what I was looking for?
We've decoded the intel from the First Order spy.
Believe this? It cannot.
Here we go. Well, how about I get copyrighted? Here we go. Wait a sec. Gameplay. Here we go.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Classic. No, it's like this Big Letter Media's review. It's so from the opening sequence you have this whole the dead speak, and yet they still have that it's a revelation. It's like, why didn't you save that till I don't know, till it's an actual revelation? So yeah, Palpatine. Oh yeah, and then you have this opening sequence that just throws you into the middle of it, what's happening? And then you have a thing that you got to find a thing, and the thing, and this, that, and then you have Palpatine. This movie, when I was watching it, and then you have all the, don't even get me started on all the Snokes inside the Bacta tanks. But what's funny is I was texting a friend and I was saying to him, do you know what I figured out? I was like, I feel like Rise of Skywalker is a film that's directed. This isn't ableist because I have ADHD, so I'm allowed to say this. But Rise of Skywalker feels like a movie that was directed by someone with ADHD, written by someone with ADHD, where all the characters in the universe have ADHD. The way the characters bounce off each other and talk, and the way the plot is so rushed, and the way characters just throw themselves face first irrationally into situations, including the villains, makes it feel like all the characters have ADHD. And this, there's just no build up. There's just no it's just so rushed and so crammed. I'm glad they brought back Ian, whatever his name was, McKellen. He's a great actor. Blah 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 blah. And okay, why didn't, I don't know how to put this, but why did they even bring Palpatine back? Is it because they didn't have a big bad villain? Excuse me. Is it because they didn't have a big bad villain to fight? Because basically what Rian Johnson did when he, spoilers, killed off Snoke in The Last Jedi was he was trying to make it subversive, not just subversive, but he was also trying to make it so that Kylo Ren would step up and become the new Supreme Leader, which is what he did at the end of the film, and what he was the Supreme Leader in this film. Yet he takes a step down again, and then a big bad villain comes along. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really lame. Some of our stuff we're back and we promised the expo remake. Yeah, and he just lifts all these star, what do you call them? I'm blanking on this. Star fighters, star destroyers. Yeah, I think that's what they call star destroyers out of the dirt. Where did he conjure them out of thin air? Where have they been hiding? It's really bizarre. does it say? More of the work playing hardcore chess. That's what's fresh. I'm not gonna read these. I'm just trying to get the footage. I'm just exploiting this video for the footage. That stuff doesn't bother me. The nostalgia stuff where they're all playing like, yeah, and talk about this like hyper. You have this insane sequence where they go to like 5 different worlds at once, where they're basically teleporting, and it's just like, what is this? Like, why is this? I don't even know. It just feels like the best chase sequences in the Star Wars movies was like, even in the prequels, say what you want about them, but the one on Coruscant at the start of Attack of the Clones, when Anakin's falling and it's like that cars chase, and it's in the city, that was like somewhat suspenseful and somewhat inventive. Or the asteroid chase in Empire Strikes Back, that was exciting because it was like, there was genuine tension on what if they hit the asteroids. It wasn't because it looked cool or like what environment haven't we showed here. But there's no like sense of peril whatsoever where they're just jumping from world to world. It's just like ridiculous. It's just so over the top. I get that he was trying to do something that hasn't been done before, but it just didn't work. Yeah. What else have we got here? Be with me. Oh yeah, this is something I've complained about quite a bit, especially recently. I started editing a video, like a really long video essay, which I never bothered finishing. It was about Fellowship of the Ring and how it gets like the adventure fantasy genre right, because because the character arcs in that movie, whether it's Frodo's or Aragorn's or whoever, feel authentic. Because every like thing in the movie has been building up to this very moment. I've noticed lazy writers do this thing, and Rogue One was a bad example of this, is where they introduce a character like they are here, right? And they introduce something like they're trying to do something that they can't. In this case, she's trying to connect to all the thousands of Jedis in the past or something. I can't even remember, and I only just watched it a few nights ago. That's how forgettable the movie is and how much information it throws at you. But and it's lazy writing. Like it's not enough if you're a creative writer to just have set a character up who can't do something and then have them go on this random adventure, and then at the end have that thing that they can't do happen. It's I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but like what's a good example of this? I don't know, but the good example of this is this, right? She's going, be with me, and she's talking to all these like, all the Jedi's in the past, and then I don't know if he shows it here, but she drops the rocks and goes, no, it's not working, and Princess Leia goes, no, in time, if you keep trying to reach out to the Jedi of the past, they'll reach out to you, and she goes, oh, okay, whatever, and then she does this whole jungle gym thing, and she's like stupid ass, and then she's like a badass and all that, right? And then it's like at the end of it doesn't come up again like throughout the whole movie, and there isn't anything in the movie that implies that like that's her ultimate goal. And then at the end of the film, I don't know if he's got it on here. Here we go. But and suddenly there's all the when she's looking up into the stars, and there's all the Jedi's going, you can do it, Rey, and they've got all the cameos like of Ewan McGregor and all this stuff, and all the actors from the past, and it's like, so it's like, okay, so they set that up at the beginning, and then they paid it off at the end of the movie, right? Now, if anybody watching this knows anything about creative writing, it's like pretty like vital, right? If you've got to set something up, you've got to pay it off, and every character has to have an arc, and and during the first act you set this up, and then every character has a goal, but the thing is that it's not enough just to have. It feels like a box ticking exercise in so many films where they have like, this character is here, and then they go and do a bunch of shit, and then then at the end, then at the end, this thing that they've been wanting to do happens, and it's like, but is it in relation to anything else that actually happened in the movie? Or is it just so people can say, oh yeah, she's had a character arc? It's like a box ticking exercise. Like technically, that's her arc. She connected with all the Jedis of the past. But throughout the movie, she isn't like the movie isn't about her like on a quest to find out how to connect with the Jedis from the past. It's this whole other plot, and this is just something that was kind of set up at the start, and then isn't really brought up again as far as I can remember, and then it just kind of happens at the end when she's at her lowest point. But she hasn't really learnt like anything valuable as far as I'm aware in the movie that has pushed her to that point that I can think of. There's some like vague stuff about like her being potentially evil, but rather not wanting to be. But it's so like what's the word? Half-assed. You know what I mean? And there's nothing particularly authentic. Anyway, I'll talk more about that soon. I just want to go back to where I was. Yeah, so she's in and she talks to Leia, and she does all this badass stuff, and then and then she talks to CJ Leia, R.I.P. Carrie Fisher. And then they talk, and she's going, "Oh, I want to be able to connect." She goes, "You'll do it one day." See, it's the trick, like as cynical as it sounds, but I mean, we're talking about a Disney movie. It's to trick almost like to trick the audience into thinking the movie has more character development than it actually does. You know, so when she's at the end, looking at the stars, the audience can go, "Oh yeah, I remember this from the beginning," even though it's just like it's pretty. Even though the rest of the movie doesn't really have anything to do with this like storyline that they've set up. Sorry, I'm rambling a bit, but oh, there's a daughter. What else happens? Oh yeah, this is another thing. I love Daisy Ridley, but like, hang on a sec. Somehow Palpatine has returned, and you never really know. Throughout the whole movie, I love Daisy Ridley. She's a wonder. Throughout the entire film, she just did this like all the time, like if you look at the other clips, she just does that all through the movie. It's a pain in the ass. Because her acting skills are way better than this, you know what I mean? It just feels so lazy. I don't blame her. I reckon it's J.J. Abrams probably rushing I don't even know, actually, to be honest. I love this look here because she looks so embarrassed, like like she's looking at her like, you told me that you guys killed this guy like 30 years ago. She's like, I thought so too. Don't look at me. Threw him down the shaft. This is one of those movie books where it's got all the like paper clippings, everything presented to you, so you got everything you need to know for the plot. What else? Oh yeah, this interaction right here. Was it this one? No. There was further back. There's a scene where Poe comes back with the Millennium Falcon on fire. She's like, "What happened to the Falcon?" And they're all like, you know, riffing off each other, the three main characters. And it's like, and I remember watching it not a few nights ago and thinking to myself, this is like, yeah, I know I keep saying this, but it's like all the characters have ADHD. I'm going to find a specific scene and see if I can actually, hang on a sec, show you guys what I'm talking about. How many views have I gotten right now? 1. Oh, cool. What was it? Rise of Skywalker. Falcon on fire. Light speed skipping. Which scene was it? There's a scene where they're all like arguing and it's just like, oh yeah, here we go. So this is the one I'm talking about. Inside voice.
From the worst.
Oh no, this is not it. Hang on a sec. No, it's not it. They argue. This is what I was looking for. That video is funny though. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm going to be very careful and I'm going to skip it as much as I can. There we go. The scene here, it's like the characters all have like ADHD. Watch. I'm pausing it to avoid getting copyright strikes from Twitch. Because Twitch doesn't understand fair use, apparently. Here we go. This is the part I'm talking about.
Really coulda used your help out there. How'd it go? Really bad, actually. Really bad.
Can't shit.
But you knew the truth.
What'd you do to the Falcon?
Falcon's a lot better shape than he is.
BB-8's not on fire.
What's left of him isn't on fire.
Tell me what happened.
You tell me first.
You know what you are.
What?
Ugh.
You're difficult. Really
So you notice how
difficult, man.
You are.
they have to stuff so like that was like a 5-second interaction, and there were how many words did they say? And like,
You made it back.
Very.
is this part especially coming up
Bad mood.
Me?
because they have so much information to deliver and so much characterization to stuff in because of the length of the
You
film.
like speed skip?
Yeah, well, it got us back.
Here we go.
Oh, the
too.
compressor's down.
Oh, I know. I was there. Every time.
You can't like speed skip the Falcon.
Actually, turns out you can. Just landed. Okay.
What happened?
Bad news. That's what happened.
No spy.
No spy.
Did we make contact with a spy or not?
There's a mole in the first order, and they sent us a message. You dropped a tree on him.
You blew both subtle to
Notice how like the interaction is so like it's just like it's like what do you call it? What's that game called? How am I blanking on this? What's it called? Not ping pong. What's this? What am I saying? Pinball. Like a pinball machine. Like that's what the interaction's like. It's like you have the spy? No spy? Because they have to. I don't know why. I think it's J.J. Abrams trying to write funny dialogue, and I think he's also trying to overcompensate for the lack of characterization that Ray and Poe had in the last film. So they have to like smash out all this exposition. There's this annoying thing that a lot of modern writers do, especially in comedy or when they try to add comedic tone or elements to like an action movie, where they think I blame Marvel for this. They think that it's funny and it's witty to have characters just talk really fast, like, well, so what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna do this. You know, like if you watch those Marvel movies, when the characters are sitting around trying to figure out the Avengers or whatever, trying to figure out what to do, you know, it's like, so Loki's got this. Oh, he's got the Tesseract. Oh, he's adopted. And then Iron Man takes a little jab, and then they all look, and then it's like really quick, and sometimes it's funny, but it's like the other Star Wars movies never had this type of interaction. Characters sat around talking like not normal people, but like in a way where you as the audience can like digest. But for some reason they have to stuff in so much exposition in this scene that it's sort of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that the characters are so like quick and that show's actually funny and witty and well written. That's what it reminds me of. It doesn't work for Star Wars in my opinion. I think it's, you know,
Finn. Oh.
you're a difficult man. See, that's J.J. Abrams' way of saying, "Oh, look, see these characters, they have history because of the way." Because people who don't know each other don't talk like this, to imply that they've gone to know each other off screen.
So, bad mood.
Me?
Him.
Always.
No
Yeah, well,
ways.
it got us back here.
Oh, the compressor.
Turns out you can. Just
Still looks into that direction. It's so
What
quick.
happened?
Bad news. That's what happened.
No spy.
No spy.
No
Did we
spy.
make contact with a spy or not?
There's a mole in the first order, and they sent us a message. You dropped a tree on him.
You blew both subtle.
See, like they jump from subject to subject. I guess it's supposed to be for the sake of humor, but it's just something I noticed.
Out there with
You
us.
know I want to be
Yeah,
out
but
there
you're
with
not.
you.
You're here training. For what? You're the best fighter we have. We need you. Out there, not here. Junior. Get R2 to
True.
Yeah, they had to stuff in like so much exposition into one scene, and it was just like just a total headache. Yeah, like that's what I mean when I say this. It's like this movie was set in a universe where everyone has got ADHD. All right, what's else? Yeah, she got like 1 minute. Poor, what's her name? Kelly Marie Tran. I feel bad for her because she only got like 1 minute of screen time for this whole film. Oh man, and she's on the poster still. The Knights of don't even get me started on what a disappointment these guys were. See, he got his helmet back because he stitched it back together. Why not just? Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this, but Oh, is this when they go to that planet? It's like... Actually, I quite like the animatronics in this part. Oh yeah, this part's pretty cool actually. I like the... Oh, here we go. Here's... What's his name? Lando. I'm glad they brought him back. That was probably the best decision. He was good in this. Yeah, these action sequences are just such a headache. Like, why is there confetti? Like, when Rian Johnson did that whole planet with the red salt, like that was an interesting visual idea. But the confetti, like I feel like J.J. Abrams was like trying to top, or trying to not top, but like he saw that Rian Johnson was actually being creative with his action sequences, and he went, "Oh, I can do that too." But it just didn't work when he did it. Oh yeah, the quicksand. Just like that one Harry Potter film, the real answer here ends up being a total let go. Allow yourself to be swallowed by the veins, which is, I guess, exciting. Yeah, like Philosopher's Stone. But that was like for young kids, so that got away with it, I guess. Oh yeah, and this part annoys me. He goes, "Ray, I gotta tell you something. About the future." And she's like, "What?" And then he's like, "Oh, later." Oh yeah, and then you have this random healing ability. That's cool. I like how she uses the saber for light. Oh yeah, and they find the dagger. But how did they find it? I didn't even remember. Did they just like they stumbled over a dagger that happened to be the solve all their problems? This is so dumb. Why are they all... Can't they have one person on watch and the rest spread out? Why are they all standing there just looking out? Like, one would be sufficient. I don't know. It's a nitpick, I guess. Oh, this scene cracked me up. I remember laughing out loud in the theater at this part. Yeah, Chewie! And the way she delivers that, like, the line where Chewie dies, or she dies, she thinks he's dead, is so bad. Hang on a sec. Chewie dies. Death. Oh, this was so bad. This cracked me up. Alright, where is it? Why would he just... Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, and he survived that somehow. Give me a break. This part here. Notice how she just... Her reaction is... She's a great actor, but man, her acting is bad on this part. I remember in the theater, like, laughing out loud. Boom. Look at her. Listen, look at the reaction. I'm sorry, but that's like that's like comical. I remember in the theater laughing out loud. And he's like, "Damn it!" Like, I think it was Jenny Nicholson who said something like that his acting was more like, like, "Damn it again." Wait, the way he delivers it. It looks like he just looks like his favorite rugby team just lost. He doesn't look like one of his friends just died. He looks like wait. Yeah, the acting is so bad. Oh, there's the mouth open again in the shock. What I was talking about before, you know, the whole like everything about the scene is comical. And this is another thing, is like half this movie is her just like wandering off, and then these other characters going like, "Wait, we gotta go!" Oh, wait, like trying to get her attention. This is what I mean, like the characters having ADHD. She's like in her own world all the movie, throughout the whole movie. There's the mouth open again. Oh man, that whole sequence is stupid. Oh, I don't even know. Anyway. Yeah, this whole sequence was poorly delivered on the acting, I mean. Oh yeah, he's a great actor, but he was so underdeveloped in this film. I don't even know like why they had him in there, to be honest. I guess as a replacement for Hux for when he They find out. Yeah. Yeah, how did everyone else miss that there was a second transport? They were literally on a desert planet with, like, besides those rocks, not that many places to hide. And you would see it flying in the air, but somehow they missed it. Was it invisible? Okay. Oh yeah, and they revealed Chewie is alive like a minute later. Like there's no like at the end. Oh, Chewie was alive all along. It's so lazy, man. Hang on a second. I just gotta check the stream real quick. How's it going? Still lagging? Yeah, it's lagging. What if I do just chatting? It doesn't seem to lag when I do just chatting. It lags when I do literally anything else. I wonder what a good solution to that is. Is it still lagging? Yeah. Oh well, where was I? Alright. What else? Oh yeah, this is the part when he's like, so you were a smuggler or something? And he was like, oh, you were a stormtrooper. And he's like, you were a smuggler? And he's like, yeah, and you were a what? What was she? A scavenger. We could do this all day. Again, it's the dialogue, this like Marvel-esque, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, kind of very American, like fast talking. I don't know. It's like it's one of those movies where I feel like the maker of J.J. Abrams isn't even taking it seriously. So it's like, why the hell should I? You know what I mean? When the other two films, Force Awakens being my favorite out of the whole trilogy, was like, it felt like there was some humor in there, but it felt like an actual movie. But this just feels like a complete farce. I don't know. Anyway. Oh yeah, and that little, he's cute. He's like the best part of this whole movie. That little thing. Oh yeah, and we introduced this random character who we don't. Why do all these filmmakers who make Star Wars movies, especially in this trilogy, have this tendency to just add these random characters without doing anything with them? Like if you watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I know this is like, it's a good example because it's such a perfect trilogy in my opinion. Like every character that they add pays off in some way, and it's like this movie they just keep throwing random crap in there that doesn't do anything. They add Rose in this second one, then they introduce the Knights of Ren in the first one. They introduce this random bounty hunter who no one gives a crap about in this one. It's just like what the who else was it? Oh yeah, and then there's the random hacker dude in the Last Jedi. I thought they were going to bring him back, but they don't. They just keep throwing random crap in these movies, and nothing pays off. It's very frustrating. Oh yeah, this is the scene, yeah, where she's like wandering out, and they're like, Ray, what are you doing? And she's like just staring out into the distance. It's so. She doesn't do this in the other movies. This is what annoys me. Is in the other movies, she's very attentive and she's very like, very very onto it, and she's always like, the only time she ever wanders off by herself in like The Force Awakens was when she is like distressed about her family or something. It's been a while since I've watched it, but in these movies she's just constantly wandering off, and the other character's like, Ray, what are you doing? And then she does this thing where she has her mouth open. It's just like a really annoying, repetitive thing. I don't know why, but it becomes like comical after a while. See? He's always having to look out for it, Ray. What are you doing? It's like if you're out with your friend and you have the one friend who's like had a bit too much to drink or something, and they disappear and everyone's having to try to find him. That's what it's like on this movie. Anyway. Oh yeah, and she decides to just be I don't know. Why don't they separate? Why do they always... The Knights of Ren are like one character. They're just one monolith. They all like walk in groups. They're never like searching, spreading out, and then coming together like a normal group would. Like, okay, they're always like like they're searching for people, whatever, and they're all knocking on the door at the same time and going to one door place at a time, all in a group. Why don't they split up? Wouldn't that be more efficient? Otherwise, why don't you just have one member doing everything? Like, they're all like one character. It's like a hive mind. But see, they had to do that because they didn't have time to develop. Like, it's easier and more in creative writing. It's more convenient to have them all together because they butchered the Knights of Ren and barely developed them so much that they had to basically just make them one single character, just in the background, just doing random shit. Oh yeah, and the stupid action sequence where they hang on a sec. Yeah, they skipped it. Where they just run in and they're just. I'm gonna look it up in a second. Hang on a sec. What was it? This part, Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker action scenes. The scene where they run into the hang on a sec. Which scene was it? When they run into the Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer. Which part was it? When they just run into the Star Destroyer. Wait. Invasion of No. Which scene was it? Rise of Sith Troopers. What? No. Which scene was it? There's a scene where they park the Millennium Falcon and they just run into the Star Destroyer and just start shooting and just go Rah! and it's like there's no strategy. But then if you compare that to the original Star Wars where they're like strategic, like, hey, can you come up here? And then they knock them out and they put on they go undercover as stormtroopers. But in Rise of Skywalker, on this action scene here, if I can find it, oh wait, saving. I'll try that. Chewie. Rise of Skywalker. When they run in, instead what they do is they park. Oh, here we go, through the base. Is it this part? Yeah, I think it's this part here. Is it this part? And they just run in and like idiots, like maniacs. It's such a stupid scene. Yeah, this part. You compare this to the original Star Wars. In A New Hope, where they're like strategic and they're sneaking around undercover and all that, and then look, this is like a perfect contrast to the different styles of the film. They just start massacring everyone. Like they're just out in the open. There's no like, they're not like taking cover. Okay, they're being a little strategic there, but they just run out and start shooting everyone. It's so dumb. It's so lazy. Yeah, she uses her force ability. Do you think I think these actors were just phoning it in. I think they just knew it was a paycheck and they knew that it was going to be crap. Alright, I think that's it. Oh yeah, look, they're just running through the horses, shooting at random and just happening to get everyone. I mean, I know stormtroopers suck at aiming, but there's no like strategy or no like, again, no peril or no stakes. They're just like throwing themselves into the middle of situations impulsively without planning anything. Kind of like someone with ADHD. Like I was saying. It's my hypothesis. Alright. Oh yeah, this is a cool action scene. It's probably one of the better parts of the film. Oh yeah, there's a... okay. Yeah, they go to the planet. Oh yeah, and Finn meets some girl who's like also a ex-stormtrooper. Again, another random character they just throw in. They just throw her in, and she... Oh yeah, and she's wandering off on her own again while the others are going, oh, where'd she go? It's just... such a mess, man. Such a shit show. Oh yeah, she fights herself. This was hilarious. And she has the Bilbo Baggins teeth. And this fight was kind of cool, but again, like, just the characters just do stuff impulsively. What else? Oh yeah, and they have Mary from Lord of the Rings on here, and he gets like 5 lines. Why isn't he even? I don't even know why he's in the movie. Billy D. Sorry. Oh yeah, and he catches the lightsaber. Boring. See, again, like this, all of these story beats could have worked if the movie was patient and took its time and was, a little longer than, I don't know, however long it was, like an hour and whatever. But it's so rushed, and the story is such a mess. This was cool. I like this, actually, to be honest. Having this flashback here, seeing Leia be here, And I'm actually, one thing I do like is that in the Last Jedi, you see the hang on a sec. In Last Jedi, you see the X-wing out of the water, and when she's looking at it, it's implied that it's going to come back in later, but it doesn't. But J.J. Abrams took advantage of that in this movie and had it finally pay off. That was probably one of the best decisions he actually made when it came to connecting this to the Last Jedi. There we go. Yeah. Marianne. And this ending here is just a giant headache. Like, holy shit. Is this ending a giant headache? They have horses, like, running on starfighters? I mean, I like the design of those horses, but man, or whatever the hell they are. I forgot about this. Yeah, this is the stupid ending where he's like, take me through. It's the exact same thing as, what do you call it, Return of the Jedi. Man, it's such a mess. I mean, it's good, it looks cool. And then she has all of the Death Eaters surrounding her. They must keep introducing this that has no consequence. Like, these are all like a giant cult of Sith that have been sitting here getting smelly over the course of how long, like hundreds of years, and they're just sitting there, and then they don't really have anything to do in the movie. This sequence here is actually really cool. Yeah, this is the coolest scene in the movie. And the Knights of Ren suck. And here's another thing, is that when he sees Knights of Ren, they all surround him and go, well, if it isn't Ben, Kylo Ren. And it's like, okay, why are they surrounding him if throughout the film... Hang on a sec. This is what bothers me. Hang on a sec. I'm going to go back into just chatting. This is something that bothers me, right? Is that, and no one talks about, which is odd about this movie, is when Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, has his redemption, because, like, I don't even know why, like, his Princess Leia, his mum, like, gives her life so that he can turn good, because he can be touched by her. It was such a shit show, but he has a change of heart, and for no reason, and he sees Han Solo walk up to him and go, "Son, this isn't you," and blah blah, and some flashback. Oh no, he was imagining. I can't even remember. It's such a mess. And then he throws his lightsaber away in a symbolic gesture of I'm a good guy now. And it's like, okay, first of all, you should keep your lightsaber because it's cool and you can just change the crystal. But 2, it turned into a green one, and he's surrounded like he does here. Hang on a sec. Yeah, with the Knights of Ren. Oh, wait a second. You guys can't see that. Just here. When he gets surrounded by the Knights of Ren and has to fight them. See? What's ridiculous is that is that why are they surrounding him? Because no one knows that he's changed sides. He threw his lightsaber away and abandoned, and then somehow made his way to Exegol to help Rey. I can't even remember how he. Oh no, he's been there before, I guess. But then he gets surrounded by the Knights of Ren, and they're like, "Well, look who it is!" And they get all their weapons out, and it's like, when was it announced that he had betrayed the First Order and that they should kill him? They just saw him without his outfit and assumed, like, it was never confirmed that when he abandoned the New Empire or First Order or whatever, that the others found out. So at the end, when the Knights of Ren surround him, it's like, how do they know he's changed sides? Shouldn't they say, "Oh, there you are. Why aren't you in your suit?" And maybe it's just a nitpick, but yeah, it's like, how do they know he's turned to the light side? It was never confirmed, but for some reason, they still attack him anyway. It kind of reminds me of when in Batman vs Superman, where when Batman and Superman are about to fight, and then Superman goes, "Bruce," he's like, "Please," and it's like, when did he find out his secret identity? He never did. It was never confirmed. It just comes up. Again, it's one of those things where it's like the writer wanted this character to get to A to B and have to fight these guys, and he just kind of did it without thinking about the logical steps for how that happened, and he just assumed the audience wouldn't ask questions, or he didn't even think about it. I don't know. But it's just a weird plot hole. But it just shows how rushed and shoddy and what a hack script this movie has. Alright, what else? That was a funny freeze frame. Alright, what else? Oh yeah. Then they have the fight together, and then it's all the people come. Every single blockbuster has a moment like this. Ever since I don't know if it was the first movie to do it, but ever since like Return of the King, the Frodo scene when they all run into battle and unite, I feel like every blockbuster has to have a scene like this. Hang on a sec. You know the scene I'm talking about. For Frodo. This part here. Oh, yeah, COVID, yeah.
Auckland is at alert level 4.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this was ahead of its time back in 2003. I feel like watching Lord of the Rings now. See, when... Not this day. Oh man, I'm just getting invested. I forgot how good this is. Today we fight.
By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand.
As men of the West. Sorry. Anyway, this scene here. Here we go. Da 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 na. See, and everyone runs into battle when the iconic music starts playing. I feel like every single blockbuster ever since this movie has had a scene like this, whether it be in the Dark Knight Rises, or will it be in Avengers Endgame? You know, where he's like, where it's Avengers Assemble, yeah, and they all run into battle. I'm pretty sure this scene has played in every like blockbuster ever since then. I'm trying to think of Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. No, never really had a scene like that, I don't think, actually. That's why I like that movie. I think it's probably more original than people... Well, not original, but, you know. It's a little bit more unique than I think most people give it credit for in the fantasy genre. You have the iconic music playing, and it's like they all unite like Return of the King was the first to do that, and every single blockbuster has done that since, whether it's Avengers Endgame or it's just something I kind of picked up on.
With considerable power at his fingertips, says, "I'll let gravity decide this."
And he somehow survived that as well.
I'm taking a sin off because this is rad, but movie should consider itself lucky that I'm still awake right now to even see it.
That part just made me laugh, to be honest.
The balance, Ray.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is the scene I was talking about. But when did this? Yeah. When like this, I feel like there wasn't this depth scene wasn't built up to. This sequence here is just like. I feel like this whole sequence is like I feel like. Hang on a second. I feel like Ray should, when she walks into that room, I feel like the being Palpatine, I'm half expecting him to say, "The girl who lived has come to die," and then you have Hagrid in the corner going, "Harry, no, what are you doing, Harry?" Because it's so similar, like the way she's. It's so similar to Deathly Hallows. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna Google another one. Hang on a sec. Deathly Hallows end fight. Where is it? This is what it reminds me of. Here we go. That's what it reminds me of. It's so similar. Oh wait a sec, hang on. I should probably turn on to game footage, shouldn't I? Here we go. Oh, I want to. Even just the way he's like disintegrates. Yeah. Oh no. It's such a similar ending. I think it is anyway. I get so many Harry Potter vibes from that ending. Yeah, this whole movie is just like one big like mishmash of like every fantasy story, including the other Star Wars movies, just merged lazily into a three act structure. It's really like, it really is just a pile of shit, honestly. Oh yeah, somehow he survived having his spine snapped in half by a rock. Then again, he got blown of. It worked actually, and I like that he redeems himself and just, even though he's killed literally billions of people. But anyway. Yeah, the Star Wars universe does this. It just makes crap up as it goes along. And I know the Force is meant to be mysterious and all, but like, at least with Harry Potter, they have like, although they cheat a lot, but they have some pretty like clearly defined rules, like the spell that kills you and the spell that does this and that. And they play around with those rules. And like, even in Lord of the Rings, they have like, if you put on the ring, it turns you invisible, but the ring race could find you, all this. But in Star Wars, they just kind of make stuff up. Like, look, he disappears. And so does his mum. It's like, what? Because they're connected, I guess? I don't know. They don't really explain it. They just kind of do this vague, like, spiritual stuff that makes you, I don't know. That makes you, like, kind of go, oh, I'm assuming that's what's happened? I don't know. Kind of vague and wishy-washy and, like, oh, yeah, and you have the Ewok. Which I don't have an issue with. I kind of like Ewoks. Finally gave you a medal. Oh, yeah, this part really annoyed me. It was so pandering. It was like, look, medal. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he got him. I'm glad they actually finally gave him a medal, but that should have been more like emotionally satisfying than that. Then like, it just feels, I don't know. I think it's the way it's shot. It's so bright and so like, look, we did it finally. It's chocolate. And then they all celebrate, and it's all sappy and boring and. No, but this movie's pretty. No, it's not average. It's terrible. This ending is great. I don't know. Yeah. So, this movie is a mess. It sucks, in my opinion. yeah, it sucked. It's funny because it's like one of those things where it's like I like grew up loving Star Wars, which is why I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic now. And it's like when Force Awakens came out, I was really excited and I really loved that movie and I couldn't wait to see where it was going to go next. And I assumed they had some sort of a plan, but they didn't. And then Last Jedi was a divergent. Oh, I don't even know what's the word. Kind of a detour, but I didn't mind because I actually liked that movie quite a bit. I have my my reservations. I didn't like Rose that much. I felt like the character was fine, but she didn't add much to the film. But yeah, that film, for all its problems, it at least had some interesting stuff going on. So I loved like everything they did with Poe in that movie. I loved the fact that they subverted the whole like Maverick, what do you call it? Lone Wolf. No, not Lone Wolf. What do you call it? The flyboy Maverick kind of. Never tell me the odds, and who goes in there and gets army of one, who gets shit done, and all this. I like how they subverted that and made it so his impulsive actions had consequences, and at the end, it paid off where he had to like learn to be patient, to be a good leader. I thought that was a really interesting take on some responsibility. I thought that was an interesting story arc, more interesting than anything in the Rise of Skywalker. But the problem with that storyline even was like, why didn't Holdo just tell him about his plan? You know, it would have been more interesting if she did and he reacted and thought she was lying, or I don't know. But the problem with this movie is that it's like, there's 9 Star Wars movies, right? And like I grew up loving even the prequels, which have problems obviously, but to me they were always like, it was like the quintessential saga. And like, so having this like coming along to tie up the rest of the films should have been like, I don't know, end of an era sort of thing. But it was just so disappointing. Like every Star Wars movie, except for the spin-offs like Rogue One, because I don't give a shit about those, but all of the Star Wars movies in the main saga I've bought like on Blu-ray, even if I don't like it that much, just because I want to own the whole collection. And I said when Episode 9 came out in 2019 that I was going to buy it on Blu-ray no matter what, but I didn't, because I just hated it that much. Like, it was just, I remember sitting in the theater being like, this is making me angry. This is just stupid. And then just walking out, and I didn't see it again until a few nights ago, like for like a year and a half. Like, it's rare I have that much of a negative reaction to a film. But yeah, it's just such a mess. I think it embodies everything, not everything, but so many things I hate about modern movies, where it's pandering. It shoves so much crap in it. There's no slow patches. There's no breathing room. It's just like the characters have to find a thing to do a thing to get a thing to do a thing, and there's a big fight and everyone cheers, and then that's the end. And it's like there's no like it's not coherent. You know what I mean? It's not a very structured plot, and yeah, I don't know. It's a mess of a movie, and upon rewatching it as awful, arguably, as I thought it was the first time, but like, gosh, it's still what a disappointment. And people say like, oh, was it really? What do you expect after Last Jedi? And it's like, but I actually quite liked Last Jedi. So for me, it was like I wanted to see him build on what that movie set up, but he didn't. He basically just gave him the middle finger and just did his own thing. And it was just a total shit show. Yeah, after playing Knights of the Old Republic, I felt like talking because Knights of the Old Republic, playing it was a weird experience so far, because it's like, oh yeah, I remember why I actually liked Star Wars. You know, it's like you have this opening in this world that's this opening that's really cool in this world that's like really inventive, and the music is like kind of makes me nostalgic, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember there was a time when I was actually really excited about Star Wars. But yeah, I don't know. It's been like how many years since that movie came out? Like in 2019, and it's 2021. So it's been a while, and this is kind of, I never did a review for it because I was just like, I don't even want to think about that movie. Didn't have the energy to. But I don't know. And here's what's funny is I actually, people say like, well, where were they supposed to go after the Last Jedi? How were you supposed to build upon it? But I had written a version of Episode 9 in my head. I'm just gonna have a drink. And yeah, I'd written a version of Episode 9 in my head that, well, might have not been great. I think it would have tied together, the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, everything the Last Jedi set up and tied up all through 3 trilogies really well, which is what J.J. Abrams said he was supposed to. Which is what J.J. Abrams said he was trying to do all along. So, like, for example, I thought it would be interesting if, like, what if like the new main villains for Episode 9 were like the Knights of Ren themselves, Like, I had this whole idea for a plot where, like, Kylo Ren, he gets power hungry, and the Knights of Ren, who are more like Sith purists, they don't like that, so they start conspiring against him, and then they what do you call it? Sort of pit Rey and Kylo up against each other, and then they both get trapped or something, Kylo and Rey, and they're forced to work together, and maybe that, being forced to work together is what kind of makes Kylo come to his senses, and then the final fight at the end is like between Rey and Kylo and the Knights of Ren. I don't know. I thought that something like that would be way more interesting. Like, what if? Yeah, man. The idea I had, my idea for was like so convoluted, and there's so much going on in it that I don't even know if I can do it justice now explaining it. But I will sometime explain how I would have done Episode 9. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow on stream I'll probably remember my pitch for Episode 9 and I'll write it. Then I'll do it, and then I'll pitch it on stream, like the idea I had for Episode 9, as if it was like going to be a real movie, and then upload it to YouTube or something. Yeah, I'm going to write that down now. Episode 9 pitch. Okay, what else is on here? Alright, how long have I got? I'm going to talk about Edgar Wright for half an hour. You all have watched films by Edgar Wright, haven't you? I rewatched Hot Fuzz like 3 times in a short period of time recently because I forgot how much I loved that movie. It's just so, honestly, so good. I'm looking it up now, actually. Oh, Oh, Dune's coming out soon. Cool. What was I looking for? What was I looking for? Oh yeah, Hot Fuzz. I'm just trying to... Shit. Oops. Sorry. Sorry about that. Oh man, my microphone fell off. Shit. I need to get a new tripod for this thing. Such a mess. Alright. Okay. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, I was rewatching Hot Fuzz and I forgot how damn good it is. I'm actually feeling really tired, and I think I might wrap this up for tonight. Actually, I might talk about Edgar Wright tomorrow or some other time, because I forgot how much I love his films, and I feel like talking about him. But for all the people that logged on to the stream and followed, thank you. That means a lot. I'm very new to this, so your help is greatly appreciated. Tomorrow at what time should I stream tomorrow? Just thinking. Okay, what's the I'm just gonna think. 8:30. 6 a.m. PST. Z time. It's EST time. I might see if I might get up early and stream tomorrow. Like, yeah. I might get up early and stream tomorrow if I can. So 1 p.m., 5 p.m., 2 p.m. Wonder if I'll be able to get up at... Yeah, I might stream tomorrow morning if I can. And, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stream tomorrow morning. And then again tomorrow night. Cool, so I'm gonna wrap this up and going to stream tomorrow morning if I can. So that is about 3 o'clock EST time, about 7 o'clock my time if I can. And I'll get a better schedule as I get used to doing this. And if you like what you're seeing, please follow and please check out my YouTube channels, which are in the description of my channel. Have a good night, everyone.